the fight week in Australia, has it all been going to plan?
Really good. I'm buzzing. You know, it's like sometimes when you do the prelim fights, if you like, you can't really put your heart and soul into it because you know it's a one-sided fight and you know exactly what's going to happen. In every fight on this card, I'm not so sure what's going to happen, especially the early fights on the card. You know, it's amazing. Going from Rhys Evans, a debutant, fighting a 9-0 Jalen Tate. Cameron Hands against Ogden's going to be an absolute war. You know, Biggs against Pitsy, and particularly Tapia against Mayweather. I think that's going to be an unbelievable fight, and it's a credit to Australian boxing that people are prepared to roll the dice like that. It's great for Matchroom, it's great for DAZN, it's great for the fans, because you're going to see from top to bottom just a brilliant night of boxing. 7 fights, 7 championship fights, 6 defeats on the card amongst 14 fighters. And I'm really excited. Like, you know, I spend my whole life going from event to event, and honestly, genuinely, this is a long way for us to come. I'm not here to muck around, but I'm excited. It gives me excitement, and sometimes the sport can sort of deflate you a little bit, but it's inflated me this week, and I'm really excited for the show.
This is probably the biggest 30 days that we've seen in Australian boxing history. It truly is the golden era. You sound like you're very impressed with the stock and how this show's come together, and you're coming in a day before the Kambosos fight, where the pool's fairly depleted, but you seem very happy with how we've come together as a country.
Yeah, and I think that when you look at the rise of Australian boxing, it's for many reasons. One, you've got some good talent here. The promoters are doing a fantastic job. The broadcasters are pushing it, you know, whether it's Fox, whether it's Stan, and now DAZN coming to make their play in the market. That's great news for boxing. It's more opportunities for fighters. It's more content on TV. You know, the promoters are up in the game. I come over and everyone thinks, right, okay, and that's great. It's all friendly at the moment, and I'm sure it will continue. But honestly, like, the reason that I'm here is because I see the potential. And this market is going to be important to us. Just the beginning for us on Saturday, but we want to come with a really positive start and a great show that people leave the piazza or turn off the zone and say, we've got value for money. That was a great night. And it's a lot cheaper than your pay-per-view stuff as well, which is interesting as well. And that's a model that, you know, I'm still getting my head around as an outsider. We've got to get the mix right of value for money and accessibility for fight fans.
Look, yourself, you're a boxing connoisseur. You asked me yesterday what my opinion about Jarvis Paro was. What's yours?
I don't know, because you talk to Jeff Fennick and you can't see any way in the world that Brock Jarvis loses this fight. And then you talk to Alfie, you talk to Liam. In terms of pedigree, you know, in the division, in terms of wins on the record, in terms of everything you've seen so far, you have to make Liam Paro the favourite for this fight. But I watched the sparring with Brock Jarvis, and look, when I signed Brock Jarvis, I looked at this kid and I was like, firstly I saw a picture of him. And I was like, if this kid can fight, he could be a superstar. I mean, he looks like something out the front page of GQ, mixed with, you know, the Incredible Hulk, like the story, the family history of sport in Australia. But this is the breakout fight for Brock Jarvis. Like, if he wins this fight, he becomes big-time stock of Australian boxing. So Liam Paro's got everything to lose in this fight. He's got his number 1 or number 2 world position. You know, he's built an unbeaten record, and when I looked to make this fight, you know, there was definitely that from Alfie and Ace of game, do we need to fight Brock Jarvis? And also, Jeff won't take the fight against us, we know each other. Jeff takes the fight like that, and there's just this nice sort of rivalry between them. But when I come here, I could have done Liam Paro against someone you've never heard of, and Brock Jarvis against someone you've never heard of on the same show. How good to stick them both together? 22-0, 20-0, Queensland against New South Wales. It's not a tough sell. But I don't need just a tough sell, I need the quality on the night. And I know I can put these kids in a fight and know you're going to see a cracker. And that's really important, and good luck to both.
But if we can't nail you down on a prediction, who's an undercard fight that you're very interested in?
I mean, again, you know, the 3 bigger fights, you've got Dempsey. Dempsey's going to fight Anthony Joshua, Dillian White, Derek Chisora, Filip Hrgovic, Zhilei Zhang in his next fight, if he's victorious on Saturday. So for Australian boxing, that's a big moment to see a heavyweight in fights like that. Corte's interesting, a little bit unknown, but when I've spoken to him, when I've seen him, he's bang up for it. That fight's ending by knockout. I think it's going to be really exciting. Sky's looking fantastic. I think she's going to make a big statement on Saturday. I'm really excited about Tapia against Mayweather and Cameron Hands against Ogden. Like, I just think they're going to go out and, like, as a promoter, when you put a show together, sometimes you look at it on paper and it doesn't always work out. Sometimes I've looked at cards and I just thought, this could be the card of the year. And it doesn't work out. But I'm so confident on Saturday, literally we're going to be sitting there going, this is brilliant, and that's what we need. So I'm a bit more of an enthusiast than some, because I look at those fights early on in the night and I'll make sure I'm in my seat and make sure I watch all of them. But Tapia against Mayweather is going to be a great fight, but Paro Jarvis is the one that stands out for me, and I think it's going to be a lot of drama throughout the night.